Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. I have a moon reading for this dark moon. And I want to tell you that I have decided to make a little offer to make your personal chart on a white background. And I show you how this looks like so that you can order that in my Buy Me a Coffee blog. This is just a random chart that I made lately. And I can send it to you for 1 cup of coffee, which is $5. So this offer will be till the end of the year. So if you would like me to make your personal star chart, not the Western astrology, you will have the Western astrology here inside to compare. But then in the outer ring, you can see the real star constellation and you can see what your planets are really like in the real sky and not in the Western astrology. So this is the link is below that you can click on and you can order this, and you can order as many as you want also for your family. So for now, I charge you for each chart, star chart, $5. And now we go to the dark moon that we have now. Guess what? We have a lot of Scorpio, and I think you are not very surprised to see that transformation chart that we have in a moment. When we look into the world, we can see also the violence that is exploding in the moment, and it's very interesting what is happening especially between Russia and the rest of the world. I have posted some videos what he was talking about, and this is quite impressive. I don't want to give any details here, but I can also have in my blog page with additional information. I can give you the URL to this page. And this is very interesting what's going on. So, Sun Moon conjunction is in Scorpio, and the AC for the worldwide horoscope is in Libra. Now, see, we had talked about balancing last two actually moons already, and it is persistent because now when the AC is in it, so that is the first step that is happening, the first thing that has significance for the world now. And how is the balancing happening? This is now shown with the moon and sun conjunction, which is the dark moon. And remember, this is not new moon. This is also Western astrology says it wrong, because the new moon is the third day after dark moon when you can see the waxing crescent moon coming up. So again, we have to be very careful with the words, and it's kind of tricky and difficult in the moment. And then we have a retrograde Mercury also in Scorpio. And now this one is a very big key of what is going on in the moment. And as you see, we have this orange line here to Mars. Well, Mars, the ruler of, the war also, we can say. But again, remember that Mars is not just about aggression, about fighting, about warrior. It's also the carrier of the torch of light. It's the first light that's coming in. This is the one that runs ahead of everything with the torch of light. And now this whole topic is playing out in Cancer. So we can see that the whole light bringing topic is within our soul. And the soul, the feelings, the real feelings, is often expressed through emotion, energy in motion. So our emotions are going wild in the moment. And we can also see that just at the cusp of 9th house, which is connected to Sagittarius. And in Sagittarius, we have an orange aspect that goes here, is a karmic aspect, where we have Venus. So we have that topic, Venus, Mars, and again, it's the balance between yin and yang, the female and the male polarities. This is completely out of balance in the moment still. And you will see that especially in those countries who are much more involved in aggression, that there will be little oases starting, that communities are coming together, bringing back the female spirit, the female energy, the goddess rising. That's what I got, and what I was talking about in my last reading from the Dakini Oracle that you also can find. I will put up the link here in this video at the end, because that is the main topic here. Now, see, when Mercury is retrograde, remember Mercury is representing the persona. If you would say, I am something in the chart, it's definitely not the sun that represents the consciousness, but it's Mercury that represents your avatar, the communication, because that's what we are here for. And what we do is in our life is communicate, not just among people, but we communicate with everything around us. We get some input, we get some information, we see, we hear, we smell, we taste. And according to our upbringing, our program, brainwash more or less, we react to the circumstances around us. And now when we make a step forward here and we understand, then we actually can appreciate the retrograde Mercury, because that is taking the power within. And it's not listening to what is happening outside in the world, but you have to focus within to understand or comprehend more what our personality really is. The avatar, the personality, is the vessel that is carrying our soul. And our soul, depending on how much or where your consciousness level is, and again, I've been confronted with this again a couple days ago, the book Power versus Force from Dr. David Hawkins is one of the major keys to really understand the consciousness levels. I had the absolute luck to meet him. I think it was in 2003 or 4 in a conference in London. And it was a very, very powerful experience. This man was really enlightened. It was beautiful to see him, to meet him, to feel his energy. And the Power versus Force, that is the first book in a series of 3. I think this should be a Bible for everybody. So if you get the option, the possibility, please get that book and read it. The first chapter is a little bit difficult for laymen, especially who are not into psychology. So just skip it and come back at the end to it again. Then it all is very clear. So this is about the avatar, the persona, and the Latin word persona, personare, means costume and mask. So this is our mask, this is our costume that we talk through, that we live in, to be able to have this human experience. And this is the beauty of our life, what we have here, that we are spirits incarnated in this physical body to be able to have the experience. And the earth is one of the toughest school ever. And all those who are here now, especially those who came for rescue and it's not just to rescue the world, it's just about this experience that we have, that challenge, the adventure that we have to help the planet Earth to transform back into the paradise, into that Garden of Eden that it was once, after it was hijacked and the dark energies had taken over, and they've been able to destroy most everything. But you know, as the light is always stronger, because darkness is the absence of light. And at one point, the darkness cannot exist anymore because it needs to feed on the light anyway. So that's where we are at this point in time. And this is now the karmic aspects that are showing us very clearly that everything is being balanced, the female and the male aspects on the earth. And that does not matter if you're man or woman again. You have both within. We all have. And the world has, and everything that exists has the balance of yin and yang somewhere, even if in the physical manifestation it is like male or female for us, but it always has its opposite there too. Now, in this transformation, it means here when we have a trine to Mars, and the trine is a gift to Mars in Cancer, is that our emotions, our feelings are helping us to recognize afterwards, because this 1.5 square here, this karmic aspect is also pointing to Mars, is that we will be able not to see then with our mind, because the mind automatically makes polarity again, and then it goes forward, pro and contra again and again and forward. But now to understand with our soul aspect, the moon and the sun together, from the aspect of balance, what is going on to redeem it. And then we have these two Venus aspects that goes to the retrograde Uranus and to Saturn in Aquarius here. And manifestation, retrograde Uranus, manifestation might be delayed in the moment, but that doesn't mean they won't happen. So it is just everything in the making. And Saturn here, especially because it's on IC, which is the root of the chart, is grounding the certain energy that will help us to recreate with this positive Venus aspect, the yellow Venus aspect, with the understanding of the divine truth and create a new reality. Well, actually, it's not new really, but it's for us, it's new because we have in many, many human lives and experiences not experienced the true Garden of Eden. And most of us don't remember really what it is. It is like, for example, if you're very good with meditation and visualization, you might have a glimpse what this is about. But this goes far beyond what we are programmed in the moment, where everything is about limitation and hardship and difficulties and violence and good and bad, especially, like they have put on top of the yin yang of the just positive, negative, light and dark, which has itself no significance in the sense of judgment. Because, like, look at the day. If you wouldn't have the night, you would go insane. You would die. You need the darkness to recover, to relax your body, that you are up at the end of the day again, that you have energy. Like breathing in, breathing out. You cannot just breathe in. You need to breathe out again to take a new in-breath. And this is all about this balance that is happening, that we will see that with the retrograde Uranus, we can now dive into ourselves with retrograde Mercury and Uranus. We have more. We have also Chiron and Neptune retrograde, especially Chiron, which is the healer, which has also a trine going to Mercury. And this is part of our healing, to move beyond the mind, to move beyond this polarity of completely being controlled by should I not, this is good, this is bad. Everything is. That's it. And it's not good and it's not bad. It is just like what we make it, what we create. And the more we come back into balance, the more we come closer to the true creation, to the goddess archetypes of, how can I say that? This is very difficult. That everything is okay the way it is. And every time when the pendulum goes too far in one side, it swings back into the other side in the same way. So when the pendulum is now going really crazy, very far out, it becomes slower and slower and slower and slower till we approach that the pendulum movement is around the center, and that we comprehend that there is no good and bad. There is just yin and yang. It's like the electricity. We have a positive pole and a negative pole, otherwise we wouldn't have any energy. The same, we have the day, the night, and if we would not have the night to relax, we would not have enough energy to function afterwards in the day. And see what is actually the goal in this chart here. We have Leo. And when we look at here, we have the fire signs, and Leo is also the sign of the king. This the ruler of the sun is the ruler of Leo, is about their consciousness. And see, when we are coming out of Aries with the first light, we are not conscious yet about life. We are not conscious yet about what life is about. So when we look at the archetype of Aries, where everything is still struggle and fight, we bring in the light into that darkness, into creation, to see. Then when we went through all the elements once, we have here first starting with fire, birth, fire, breakthrough, manifestation. Then we go into communication with everything around us, and then we start to feel what it is. So this is more or less the first steps of a human to develop into a true human. And we can say then Leo is the moment you take back your power, because you have already a certain experience and you become, now this is important, you become responsible for your life. And this is response able. So you are able to respond in your life, and then you get into the next sequence of elements, and this is then the part where you go into the deep experience, because you have already experienced in the beginning, but now your consciousness is an octave higher, we can say. You become an adult. When we say here from Aries up to Cancer, it's just metaphors, okay? You are still children now. From Leo to Scorpio, this is the adult part that we go to. And here we can see now with the Scorpio transition that we are in transition, transformation into a different consciousness, to afterwards when the sun is moving afterwards into Sagittarius. And then this will be the part when we get older. This is the part of wisdom, when we can start to develop wisdom, because we have gone through childhood where we played with things, we burned our fingers, and we had maybe different accidents and things that went on not so right in our life. Then the second, third will be the adult part, that we are more conscious, more aware of things. But also in that time is often that we judge more, because we have maybe some bad experience from childhood that we judge now. But then once we move beyond that, beyond Scorpio, through that transformation of balancing first transformation, and then become wise. In this here, you see also we have several planets here. That is the part where we move forward beyond the judgment of things, where we start to understand that, for example, something that has looked really bad for a time, when you look back, it was really good that it happened, because this is when you learned the most. And this is also one reason why it said love your enemies, because your enemies often show the truth of what happened. It's not all the friends and all the good stuff that happened in your life that you learned from. This is just nice, it's convenient, but the really, not, let me put it that way, the really important steps in life, the really important things that happen to make us grow, to make us evolve, are often not the very nice things that happened in our life. And this is also like, for example, the third part of our three elements, that three, what do you say, a third, 3/3 that we have here. is then this is when we move into meditation, when we move into experience and bring different levels together. We bring the soul level, the emotional level, the mental level, the physical level into harmony together, that our experience becomes something different. And this is now when Leo, when you step into the adulthood, that you start to take responsibility. And when we look in the world now, people have been sleeping and have been playing the game of the dark ones for a very, very long time. Now is this awakening happening. And this is the moment when people start to, oh my God, I cannot play around anymore like a child. Before I am responsible. And they start to take back responsibility. And I see what is happening very strongly now, that like-minded people are coming together, that they are building communities and groups and start to work on, like, for example, organic farming, like electroculture, natural medicine, energy medicine, free energy, and so on, that there are my little oasis here and there and here and there, people gathered together. And this will be like, I see it like an acupuncture point. Then when all these acupuncture points are of the ley lines, for example, crossings of ley lines, and they might even create new ley lines, and they become like a grid of light over the whole planet. And this grid will move up, up higher until the darkness. Again, in the sense not of light and dark and day and night, but the darkness of the consciousness, the ignorance of the human being is gone, and people are awake. So see, this process that is happening is very important. And please don't pay so much attention what is happening away from you. You will be confronted with what you need to work on. So it doesn't matter. You don't need to really watch news or look what's going on. I mean, a certain degree, we need to be informed. But the more you withdraw into the topic that you are confronted with and not distracted by all that stuff that is happening in the world, the better for you. What I could recommend is only that please hold the world, the whole planet, imagine the whole planet in a light bubble, that, or see like the darkness is like smoke. It's like light is shining through smoke, and the smoke is vanishing, it's going away. So to enlighten the whole planet, or when you have people around you who you can see that they are still complete in this mind control, then just let them know little things at a time, that you can move beyond that. And this will go step by step, baby steps for many, but also don't try to rescue those souls who are not meant to stay on our timeline. That is also a delay. You delay things because Saturn here here we have a square to the moon and sun conjunction. That is the challenge. Saturn in Aquarius is now, we can say, the reaper, who is really separating the wheat from the chaff. And those who are meant to go on another timeline, they will leave. And it's no reason to be sad for these people, because these people, they just are on another timeline where their consciousness level is more close together, so they can all together move forward on their evolution. Because Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, Pachamama, whatever you call her, is a being alive. And she has decided to move on. She is leaving. And we have to become the steward of the earth. But that's also the point where she cannot take other souls that are in a low consciousness with her. There are other planets. There are other, you don't even have to imagine physical planets. We are living in a realm. This is a realm of a certain consciousness level. So there are many different realms of similar consciousness levels. So just when I want to take the sample of David Hawkins' book about the consciousness level with his table from 1 to 1,000. So just let's say numbers. There is a place where the consciousness level lower, like a 200 frequency, then we have a 300 frequency, 400, 500. And depending on the frequency or the energy, the consciousness level, people will be sorted into their timeline. So from there, they can move forward. Like the same, like if you have a kid that is in first grade, you cannot pull that kid up into sixth grade or high school or whatever. The kid needs to go step by step and cannot jump because the foundation would not be right to move higher, and later it might fall. It's like the foundation of a house. If it's not holding, the house will collapse one day. And it's the same with us. We have to go forward step by step. And this is something that a lot of people don't understand, and they think they can jump from kindergarten right to high school. It's not working that way. You have to go step by step. There's nothing you can let out. And this is happening in this time of that transformation of the understanding about the shift that is happening. It's not so much just the physical shift that is happening or the physical things that are happening around us. It is that inner shift, that inner standing that is happening. And these shrines that we have here, we have several of them. They are the gifts in the moment. And the gifts are also connected with the whole humanity, with Mars, actually, that the warrior inside has moved, we can say, into the emotional realm, maybe making some big waves in the moment till the moment happen when then the diving into the depth of our soul can happen. And from there, we can move forward into a real balanced and peaceful society. So this is a very beautiful chart, and the root in Aquarius with Saturn show that now this is happening, that now the ruler Saturn, we can also say that Satan is now what is all that negative energies that some people see there is now the tool of the light to transform the consciousness level of humanity. It's complex, right? But the gist is that it's happening, and it's not, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do in the moment is now look for yourself. Look that in your environment where you are, that you use that higher consciousness level to see what is really happening and stop judging. Because some people, again, their consciousness level is not that high yet, and they still need that, what we would call negative experience, which includes illness, which was including the whole thing with the shot, It's no coincidence that some people had the shot and some people didn't. It is all part of this separation of the chaff and the wheat that is separated. Okay, so have a look. If you would like to have your own chart done, then go to the link below to my blog page and you can order it. And next, I will do in a few days another card reading, because it's a very, very important time, packed of things that are going on. And have a look at the other readings I just did. Okay, bye-bye for now. I wish you a very, very powerful dark moon event.